we get ready for this boys North-South Lions Club All-Star game here at Missouri Valley College at the Burns Athletic Center. The girls game earlier was won by the North, 81-66. And Coach had a 30-second shot clock. What are the chances of that being used much in the second game?
Well, I don't think they'll need it, Pat. These guys are all district and all-state players from their respective schools, and they've come to play, and they're going to put it up. So we should see an exciting game. I notice here I got this big mic right here, and you got that little one. What's the story?
Oh, I gotta keep stats.
Okay.
I mean, we could have got you a little one, but never mind.
From Higginsville, 5'10", Justin Dittmer.
It's just good to be here with you, Pat, to be on the other side of the fence.
Number 32, Bobby Hall.
We were talking earlier with John Hayes. It's really nice to see some of the kids that you only hear about. I mean, I realize that we see a lot of basketball during the high school season, but you don't get a chance to see everybody, and it'll be a lot of fun to see some of these kids we haven't seen.
Yeah, that's true. A lot of these teams are 1A and 2A teams, and we don't really see much of them on our schedule anymore. And as you mentioned, we're just happy to have this game in Marshall. I think it's a great tribute to the Lions, number one, because they do an excellent job, and it's been fun being associated with these games 2 of the last 5 years, and I'm happy to be helping you with tonight's broadcast.
Having the starting lineups announced there.
Number 34, Greg Lawson. And 5'11", from Lawson, number 44, Duff Weber.
Duff is a first-team All-Stater from Lawson, and of course Joe Abney, first-team All-Stater, I believe, are the two All-Staters on the court tonight.
Yeah, for instance, you get a kid like Duff Weber from Lawson, who I've never seen play, and here he is, an All-State player, and get a chance to see what he's all about this evening a little bit. And starters for the North team, Joe Abney from Marshall, of course, an All-Stater at the 3A level. Nick Albrecht, a 6'6" player from Northern, who's headed to Benedictine to play football, I believe. Darius Colbert out of Peetsville, a 6-foot guard. Greg Lawson, a young man from Chillicothe. And then Duff Weber out of Lawson.
Yeah, Lawson's had good basketball here the last few years, and it should be good watching him because I heard he's a shooter.
Coaching the North team will be Rick Redding out of Northwestern over at Mendon, and Russell Billington from Peetsville, right down the road from each other, will be his assistant for the evening.
From Smith Cotton High School at Sedalia, number 11, Kevin Otterly.
Yes, Northwestern High School of Mendon is my wife Terry's where she grew up and went to school, and it's good to have representation from there tonight.
Mike Campbell, the All-State player, will be one of the starters.
Yeah, Campbell from Montrose. They've been tough and have good basketball there. I know David Sawyers, who's at Leeton, has had a hard time beating them, but David just has done a tremendous job in building that Leeton program, and just happy to be a competitor, and is going to get better as the years go on.
Okay, for the North starters, let's give you the South. Kevin Arthur Lee out of Sedalia at 6'3.5" will start for Coach Jim Dawkey out of St. Paul over in Concordia, and Concordia High School coach Tom Stokes is his assistant. Chris Barb, the 6'1" player out of Green Ridge, will be starting, along with Mike Campbell. We mentioned him, the 6'2" player from Montrose. Ryan Ficken from Knob Noster, a 4-year starter for the Panthers on that ball club. And Joey Human, here's another player, Kevin, that we don't see much about, see or hear much about over at Sedalia Sacred Heart. Big kid in the middle at 6'7". And Kevin, is, at least at the early outset, to me, it looks like the South team has more of the size and the strength, and the North team will be more of a quicker and get it up the floor and shoot it type of squad.
Yeah, they usually do. The South has a little bit more to choose from on the southern part of I-70. They have a few more 3A, 4A schools. Of course, Arthur Lee from Sedalia. There's a kid that played AAU basketball with our kids and never thought he would really be a player, but Martin White made him one, and he just did a tremendous job for that Smith Cotton team.
Saw Martin White just a few moments ago before this ball game. Had a chance to say hello. First shot of the game put up no good. Here we go. Here's Arthur Lee to the hole. Laid up.
Boom. On the left side.
Kevin Alter
Here comes Joe. Joe playing point tonight, Pat. He started at point for us as a junior, and we switched him to that 2 spot, and you know how it went from there.
Coach Dalkey coming out in the zone here in the early going. Here's a shot put up, blocked away. Getting the ball back is Colbert, and he's fouled. Darius wants to continue his basketball career at Moberly Area Junior College this coming fall.
Well, it's always a good basketball program there, and if they wanted him, he can play.
Foul charge to Mike Campbell of the South team. 2 shots awarded.
Going to have to adjust our eyes a little bit and speed things up. These kids are going to get up and down the floor. Here's Colbert on the free throw, hits the first one.
A lefty. You know, Pat, I coached my first left-hander in my basketball career as far as on the varsity level last year, Leandra Davis. I got several coming up, though.
Wouldn't be a bit surprised to see Leandra on this floor in a couple of years, and he's a senior. Here's Campbell. Shoots from the foul line over Lawson and drains it.
Went left and popped from about 15. It was nice.
Here's Weber, the young man from Lawson. Just 5'11" off to Abney. Abney, he'll shoot from out there, but they're not going to let him if they can. Barb's out on him. Here's Weber. He'll shoot a 3-pointer and hits it.
A 3-pointer by Jeff Weber.
In a game like this, Pat, it's always good to hit that first one.
Yeah, here's Campbell driving off the human. He lost the handle on it, and coming up with the basketball is Colbert off to Abney. Up to Weber. Weber wants to shoot the 3. Abney will shoot it. No good. Rebound taken out of there by Ficken. Ficken out of Knob Noster to the forecourt with it. Shoots in the lane a little leaner and hits it over Weber.
There's a kid I'm glad to see gone, Pat, because we've had some tough struggles with Knob Noster, and there's a kid with just a tremendous, unbelievable heart out there. Just plays hard every single night, and it's good to have those kids on your ball club, and I know Doug Maple will miss him.
Abney out high, nice touch pass inside to Lawson, couldn't get it to go. Human with the rebound off to Campbell. Campbell 2-on-2, pops a 3 and misses it. Rebound, battled for, and Albrecht comes out of there for Norburn. Off to Weber. Weber, bounce pass on the wing to Lawson on a whistle. And
we got a charge.
Charge called.
That's good to see kids stepping in front and taking that charge in a game like this. I like that kind of basketball. Looks like the North squad's playing man-to-man, Pat.
Campbell out to Arthur Lee. He wants to drive on Abney. Back to Campbell. Campbell in the paint with the left hand on a whistle. He goes sprawling to the floor. And we've got a whistle and a foul called, and Campbell will see if they're going to put him on the line.
Darius Colbert.
Yeah, he had his head down, and he was going hard to the left, and looks like he goes better left and right, even though he's a right-hander. That jumper that he shot earlier was going left, and he was going to the hole hard that time.
Campbell hits the first one. And like we did in the girls' game, we'll try and tell you a little bit about some of these young men and some of their academic achievements, as well as on the floor here.
Hit the second.
As we go along. Campbell has 4 early points, and the South has an 8-5 lead, and the South changing up the defense a little bit, now going to a man instead of that zone. Colbert off to Weber.
You know, Pat, you only have a day and a half to work with these athletes, and it's kind of hard to put in an offense, but the North squad's doing the best they can. There's a block foul. North's going to go on the line for 2.
Nick Albrecht, 6'6". I would 3 sports star, I guess, over at Norburn. Track and field, basketball and football. He'll be playing football at Benedictine College in the Heart of America Conference. So this is probably not the last time we'll see him here at Missouri Valley.
I don't know how all these smaller towns get these 6'6" guys, Pat. I've been praying for one for a while, and I got one coming up next year. John Harlow, watch out for him at 6'7".
Albrecht hit 1 of 2, and then we have may have been a lane violation against the South. So Albrecht will get another one. Albrecht couldn't stand prosperity, but Colbert gets the offensive rebound, lays it up and in.
We got a tie game at 8-8.
With the basketball, Ficken down low. Human has a shorter man on him, puts it up off the glass and missed it. But on the weak side with the rebound and putting it back up and in is Chris Barb out of Greenridge. Another player from not that far away, here from Marshall, you don't hear a whole lot about here tonight.
He's going to Missouri Western College next year, Pat.
Colbert into Albrecht and a whistle, and Arthur Lee and Albrecht have been going at it already downstairs.
That should be a good matchup.
Albrecht at 6'6" is more than just 6'6".
Chris Barb, number 15 of the South.
All-stater in track. Here's Weber for another three.
Another three-pointer by...
I think I'm starting to see why, Kevin. He may have been an all-state player. He's got them at the bottom of the net both times on his 3 points.
And he shot it off the pass nicely.
Ficken misses, and Colbert, he's taking it serious. He rips it down to Abney for a long three. Joe's short. Rebound is tipped out. Taken out of there by Albrecht. Good hustle. Here's Weber. Weber looks, gives it up to Colbert, working on Ficken, turns along the baseline, back to Abney. Weber's open top of the circle. They swing it left-hand side. Lawson for a three. He missed it. Rebound. Abney tried to get a hand on it, but Human pulls it down to Barb. Lead pass stolen away by Weber, working on the defense at the other end. Then he leads the pass to Lawson, down to Colbert, double team along the baseline. He lost it. And they're going to say it was off the gold team, and here comes
some subs.
Some fresh faces for the purple squad.
Substitutions for the North. Number 14, Jay Berenson.
The Lions Club does have a rule that you have to play every player for a certain amount of minutes each quarter, so that way everybody gets their playing time, which is good.
Berenson will throw it in.
44.
Does so to Brad Schreiman. I saw him this year, Kevin, have a pair of 40-point games for Santa Fe. He can really take over a ball game when given the chance. There's a shot put up inside, a little jump hook that doesn't go down. Weber fighting with Ficken, and they're going to say it went off Weber last out of bounds.
Checking in for the South team, number 21, Troy Brandis, and number 51, Chris Johnson.
Also in the ball game for the North, we mentioned Jay Berenson of Salisbury at 6'5". Also in there is Kevin, a young man I think you'll enjoy watching, is Terry Smith, 5'10" of Lexington. And brother, he can just eat the glass. I've seen him play a few times. He can really get up.
Yeah, I saw him play in the MRVC tournament early in the season when we had an opportunity to scout quite a few people. There's Arthur going to the line, going to the hoop again. He's going to get 2 shots out of the deal. I said something about him a little bit earlier. I remember when he was 7th or 8th grade, and he came together with some of our Marshall kids, and the kid was just a skinny kid that really didn't look very good, but this is what it's all about. Hey, you got to get out there and play, and this kid has done his share of playing, and it all worked out for him. 2-year starter for Martin White's Smith Cotton team. Missed the first.
Bobby Hall from Stead is now in the game for the purple squad. We mentioned Brad Schreiman a moment ago. Berenson pulls down the rebound on the off-the-lead miss. Off to Smith to Weber. Weber, the only starter for the North team, still in the ball game. We'll check out some of the South substitutes in a moment. Here's Smith, gets a tip pass to Schreiman. Weber's left alone. Not this time. Rebound tipped up, though. Berenson gets it. Lays it up and in. Smith kept it alive, and Berenson got the easy shot to go down.
There's another big guy from Salisbury, Missouri at 6'5".
There's a pass inside, and Campbell hit the deck. Into the ball game for the South team is Troy Brandis out of Leeton. And here's Weber with the basketball. Off to Schreiman, wing right, lob pass inside. Some miscommunication, too high over Smith. He can get up in the air, but he can't get up that high, and the ball goes out of bounds. North team leads by 3. Also in the ball game for the South is Eric Johnson, a 5'10" player out of Warrensburg. Shot put up by Barb out of the corner, no good. And here's Weber on the break. 2-on-2. Bounce pass in the middle, broken up by Brandis. And it will be North basketball. And here comes Abney back in the ball game. Let's see if he comes in for Weber.
It's good to see that passing, Pat. You know, a lot of times, as I mentioned earlier in these games, everybody wants to shoot the ball. And the kids are looking for the open man and trying to give it up. And that's good basketball.
13-10 our score. Still have 4 minutes left to play in this first quarter. Here's a shot by Hall, no good. Smith with the weak side air ball rebound, lays it in with the left hand.
Sometimes those things work out.
Here's Johnson, just into the game, shoots a 3, no good. Rebound taken down and in. Oh, in and out, no good. Berenson with the rebound. Barb couldn't get it to go, and back comes Abney.
Give it back to him.
All from Stead. Tip pass inside to Smith. Had his shot blocked away. Gets it back. Nice pass in the middle for Berenson. No good, and a whistle.
As you mentioned, he did hit the boards hard. I think in a short period of time, he's had 3 or 4 rebounds.
Yeah, Kevin, last year, the games I saw him play at Lexington, they would sit him down on the blocks at 5'10" and make people play him down there, and then he'd give the ball off to their big men in the middle. Berenson from the line hits the first one.
Well, Jim Thomas at Lexington knows what he's doing, and he's a good basketball person, and he had a good team last year, and I think he's looking for good teams to come.
Second free throw on the way, good again. Well, Berenson, the young man from Salisbury, has 4 points, and the North team leads by 6.
Had good touch, too.
Man-to-man D, off the lead of the hole, fouled by Smith. Smith didn't think so, but I think he may have got him down around the hip area or the leg, and Kevin will go back to the line.
Well, Kevin has the right idea. He's going to the basket and looking for things to happen, and that's the way to be in these types of games. You got to look for the openings. You got to go ahead and go to the hoop any opportunity you have, because the jumper is not always going to be there.
Arthur Lee at the strike to shoot 2. North team has scored the last 6 points, and Kevin's 0 of 3 from the stripe.
I think it's the Black Sox.
Second one, good. Arthur Lee has 3 points. Back comes Abney in a hurry for the purple North squad. Joe fakes the 3. Off the Hall. Nice pass inside Smith. Laid up, no good. Rebound tip by Berenson, no good, and a whistle.
We're seeing the South squad switch up. They were in the 2-1-2 zone that possession.
We mentioned the early going, Kevin, that just by looking at the 2 teams, I thought maybe the North team had the quicker squad, and at least at the outset, it looks like the North team is a little more bounce in their step right now.
Well, they're doing a good job of hitting the boards. They're not only getting 1 shot each time down, they're getting several, and that's going to help.
Hall with a 3-point try, no good. Ball is tipped out and taken by the Gold squad. Shot put up, blocked away, I believe, by Schreiman, and a whistle. Ryan Holver from Concordia and Schreiman getting a chuckle out of that one. Holver was the MVP for the Orioles this past year, and of course those 2 guys went after each other in the I-70 conference this past season. And Ryan Holver is a kid I think you'll like, Kevin. He takes the ball to the hole, and he doesn't care who's guarding him. Inbounding the basketball. Here's Campbell with it in the lane. Nice move. Had a shot blocked by Berenson. Here's Hall. Outlet pass to Abney. Joe looking up court. Joe stops at the 3-point line and launches one. Gets it rolled.
Well, I've seen that lots of times in the last few years, and I just can't say enough good things about Joe Abney, and it was good to see that one roll in.
With the basketball is Holver. He'll go to the hole with it. Kicks it back out. Shot put up and in.
Nice pass on that. It closed up the middle, and he dished it off to the left, and boom, off the backboard.
Berenson scores again.
I'll tell you, that Berenson is a lot of body out there.
He's a load inside, and he's working right now against Tim Fleener from Crestridge in the ball game, another I-70 product. There's Campbell out of the corner for a jumper. Campbell from Montrose, an all-state player. He can fill it up in a hurry. Here's Schreiman.
Watch out.
Abney for a bomb. That's good.
There he is on the NBA line, Pat.
That's 4 3-pointers now from the North team. 2 by Weber, 2 by Abney. Culver spins to the lane and a whistle.
I'll tell you, that three-point shot has just added so much excitement to basketball, and it's fun to watch. And of course, everybody likes to slam, but not everybody is that gifted or that talented to be able to slam that ball, especially with lots of bodies around. So that three is nice to see.
Justin Dittmer in the ball game now on the North team for the North squad.
Number 30.
And Aaron Copeland, a late addition to this North team, is in there. He, of course, played for the Marshall Owls. There's a shot put up and in
For the rebound and basket.
by Ryan Holver. Holver gets his first 2. Abney pass inside for Smith. In and out of the hands of Smith, who was double teamed down low, and the South team gets it back.
The North is doing a real good job of keeping pressure on the South and challenging each shot, and that's what you got to do.
Kevin Gerke from Pilot Grove now in the ball game.
Joe playing defense, Pat.
And here's Spleener and Albrecht going after each other in front of the North bench. And the officials let it go, and
Number 45, Eric Johnson.
Eric Johnson checks in the ball game for Warrensburg.
Ryan Culver in the South lineup.
Here is Johnson off the Fleener. Fleener, top of the circle. Brandis goes to the hole. He's the young man from Leeton, lays it up and in.
Troy Brandis hitting.
Brandis gets his first 2 of the night. Back with the ball is Dittmer, the young man from Higginsville, off to Abney. Abney to Copeland. Aaron, top of the circle, Smith. Pulls up for a jumper, missed it. Rebound, Albrecht, goes in the paint, lay it up and in.
Whoa, I like that. He went to the hole and had a little baby hook there.
Nick Albrecht.
Inside a minute left to play in this quarter, and a foul call on a 3-point try, no good, by Johnson. We've got a number 51 on the Gold squad that we don't have in our program.
35, Kevin Gerke.
We'll
Now,
try and pick
the
up-
one kid that I saw that was not listed was Chris Johnson, a 6-foot
that must be the young
from
man.
Clinton that's planning on going to Graceland. We'll check on that, Pat.
Here's Copeland holding the ball high over his head. Nice pass inside to Albrecht. Shoots over Human but misses. Rebound by Dittmer. That won't go. Tipped up and in by Smith.
I'll tell you, that Dittmer kid is another kid that was a 3 or 4 year starter for Higginsville, and another kid I'm glad to see graduate, because there's another kid that really plays hard and does a great job out on the basketball court.
By Terry Smith.
Going to the hole is Kevin Gerke, who lays it up and in.
Underneath the basket by Kevin Gerke.
Copeland to Abney. 7 seconds left to play in the quarter. Abney wants to shoot it. Copeland will go to the hole, put it up. Nice move by Copeland, no good. But Aaron will go to the line to shoot a couple with 2 seconds left to play in the quarter.
Now, here's a kid, Pat, that I can't be any more proud of the accomplishments and the way that Aaron improved his game and accepted his role on our basketball team. And even though he was not nominated for this game and things just kind of worked out for him, I'm glad to see him playing, and I'm real proud of Aaron. Hits the first.
Nobody works any harder than Aaron Copeland, that's for sure, and he makes things happen on the basketball court. There's no doubt about that.
Well, here's a kid that isn't very big and had to get in there and battle with the 6'5" and 6'6" kids, and he just did a tremendous job, and all he cared about was the team, and that's what sports are all about, Pat. You got to give it all for the team. It's not me, it's not I, it's the team, and Aaron had that philosophy, and that's one of the major reasons we were the type of team that we were this last year.
I was going to say, your ball, something I failed to say at the outset was that you fellas played in the Final Four this year in Columbia, and that's exactly what it was. Joe was an all-state player, and Telly was a second-team all-state player, Telly Harper, but, you know, it was the Leandra Davises and the Aaron Copelands and the Brad Ewards and DeMille Davis and people like that without them, well, quite frankly, would have never gotten that far.
That's true, Pat. We had a real special thing that you don't teach. It's called chemistry, and the chemistry was definitely there, and they supported each other. Even the guys that knew they weren't going to play very much, they were behind us, and they accepted the role, and that's what you need. And that team last year was just a fun team to be associated with, and a lot of good memories.
The North team leads 30-21 here after one quarter.
Are we going to hit 100?
Oh, I think both teams will hit 100 tonight. I'd be surprised if they don't. Here's Weber off the Dittmer, and now a man-to-man. Remember, the South team started in the zone for a while, now a turnover. Here's Barb with it. Nice pass. Ficken, who lays it up and in. And we've got a whistle after the shot.
Basket by Ryan Ficken.
We had Copeland coming in hard trying to get that block, and he fouled after the shot, so it's going to be Southpaw.
Of course, those two fellows faced each other during the regular season last year when Knobnosher played Marshall.
Aaron Copeland.
Great game. We were able to beat them in overtime the first game of the season, and we switched that game. We didn't like it that date, so we're going to play them a little later.
Here's Albrecht, and there's the big man trying to run the floor with the ball and turn the ball over. He was going to go to the hole with it.
Well, I like that player. He's got good size, and he does a good job handling the ball for, 6'5"?
Yeah, he's a good-looking athlete. He does it all over the place on the football field, basketball, and track and field. It's a shot put up and no good. And then they say Barb stepped on the end line. Good defense down there by Copeland and Albrecht along the baseline.
North's been pretty steady playing defense all night long. We'll see how it goes. It's early because this is going to be a long game with these 10-minute quarters.
Oh, it sure is. Here's Weber off to Copeland. Copeland to Dittmer. Dittmer going to the hole, stops at the foul line. Off to Colbert, fakes the man off his feet, goes inside and a whistle. And I think they're going to get Ryan Hover on a little touch foul through the lane. Kevin, you mentioned the addition of Aaron Copeland from Marshall, and I believe the player that's missing here,
Darren Gray from Richmond. Darren did an excellent job in his basketball career for Scott Summers' Richmond Spartans, and it's a shame that he wasn't able to make it because he would have showed some things too.
Colbert misses the first one. He looks bigger than 6 feet to me on that floor.
Yeah, he does.
Maybe he grew 3 inches in the last couple of months.
Well, that usually happens in Marshall. Our kids may be 6'2", 6'1" when they're a senior, then all of a sudden they're 6'5" when they come back to play us in those alumni games. So some kids seem to grow a little late. And this kid here, Colbert from Keatsville, is going to be a good player for Moberly JUCO.
14, Jay Berenson.
Berenson quickly back in the ball game. Albrecht and Copeland will check out, and Jeff Lawson, or rather Greg Lawson, excuse me, is back in the ball game. Young man from Chillicothe.
Coach Redding is doing a real good job of substituting.
Here's Weber over Ficken from the foul line, missed it. Rebound underneath, taken up by Colbert, rather. That won't go. And foul's going to be called on Lawson. They're going to say he pushed Barb out of bounds. Barb then knocked the ball off of Lawson for good measure, but it will be the South ball anyway.
There's another program that's going to be up and coming that was a little down, but definitely has risen is the Chillicothe Hornets. Last year they played that Benton team in overtime in their house, and then played them in I believe a triple overtime in the finals of district at St. Joe Benton, and has a lot of people back for next year, and is going to definitely be a challenge on our schedule.
All right, Kevin, if Chillicothe gets any guard play next season, I don't know who's going to beat them. They got a ton of kids. They're in the 6'6", 6'7" range, and they're all players from what I can see. None of them are any plotters. Here's a nice lead pass from Weber to Colbert, who lays it up and in.
Weber does a good job. He's unselfish. He's looking for that extra pass, but if they leave him open, watch out.
Here's Ficken off to Holver. Holver likes to go to the hole. Takes Schreiman there. Put it up no good. Rebound Colbert. Colbert on the break. Now he'll hold it up at the timeline off to Weber. 32-23. The North leads by 9. Weber off to Schreiman.
We're running a 1-2-2 set with a pick away, which is a good offense for an all-star game. real simple and just go away after you pass.
Ficken and Weber having a good tete-a-tete on both ends of the floor. They're going after each other out there.
Well, I think this North team really has control of this game so far.
There's Schreiman. Weaves his way into the hole, no good. Rebound tipped up by Lawson. That won't go. Schreiman again has it blocked. Colbert for a third try, good.
See, it's that board. So when you're able to get 2-3 shots every possession, you're gonna beat some people.
Campbell back for the South team. Down low to Ficken. Shoots over Weber and hits.
There's another All-Stater throwing a great pass to the left.
Ficken post up on a smaller Weber, and Weber will have to get some help down there. Here's Schreiman. Wing right off to Albrecht, and a foul called as Human back in the game out of Sedalia Sacred Heart went for the steal and picked up a foul instead.
Joey Human, number 41.
Got a good crowd here tonight, Pat. It's good to have this game in Marshall. This is the 5th year of the Lions Club All-Star Game. It started at Central Missouri State University and took place there for 3 years and came to Missouri Valley last year, and we're glad to have it and hope that they want to come back in years to come.
Yeah, John Hayes helped us with the earlier game, with the girls game. We were talking about the crowd here this evening, how the fact that, you know, it's pretty tough to sell tickets for a basketball game this time of the year, with the weather being what it is and vacation season. But you're right, we've got a nice crowd here this evening. Three-point try by Barb is good.
Yeah, even the first year we came here from Warrensburg, we had the top attendance last year, and we probably beat that again tonight.
There's a pass down inside to Albrecht. It's tipped away, and they're going to call. Albrecht wanted a foul, but the officials, Kevin, unlike in the girls' game, kind of letting the kids play a little bit more here.
Well, these guys have been around. They're good people. We got Kurt Cunningham from Columbia, and also Kelly Coleman, who was on the Marshall Public School staff and now living in Columbia, and is going to get his master's here coming up in a couple weeks, and going to be out in that job market again. And then Tim Clemens from Marshall. So we got a three-man crew.
Ficken misses the three. Now a foul going to be called on Culver.
Well, look at that Ficken showing that emotion out on the basketball court during the summer like that. That just shows the type of competitor he is. Back to the Lions, the proceeds from this game is 30% to the Missouri Lions Eye Research Foundation, 30% to the Lions Club International Foundation, 30% to the District State Hearing Activities, and 10% to Administrative Fund for the 5th annual game. So that's definitely a good thing that these Lions are doing in organizing this game, and it's not something that just took about overnight. They've been doing it for a year, and they're good guys and fun to work with.
And this game has helped raise, I believe, a little over $30,000 the last 4 years. So that's not chicken feed.
Not at all.
Schreiman misses the first one. Second one on the way is good. So Schreiman gets on the scoreboard, and North leads by 9.
Bobby Hall, number 32, has replaced Brad Schreiman, number 4.
This is sort of reminiscent to the girls' game that we had earlier this evening, where every time the South team got a little close, the North team pulled away, and now Campbell going to the lane is hammered by Abney or Colbert, one of the two.
Not a smart foul.
Joe Abney, number 10.
Abney does pick up the foul. Each player gets 6 fouls in this game. We play 10-minute quarters. And both teams are over the 7-foul limit. Once you reach 10, it's like in college. Then you go to the line to shoot 2 every time. Campbell missed the first one. Second one on the way, good. Campbell with 7 points. Abney over the timeline. Off to Bobby Hall in there from Stedt. Hall looking for help, gets it from Abney against Ficken.
The South stepping out their defense, Pat.
There's Albrecht double team in the lane, put it on the floor. He can't do it down there. He gets it back though and lays it up and in. Second, that's Berenson has the basketball. Excuse me. Here's Colbert back with it after the miss by the South team. Colbert tries a three-pointer, hits it.
Wide open there. He did the right thing.
by Darius Colbert.
Colbert came to play. We saw that at the outset. He's got 11 points. He's human in the lane, steps up, puts it up, missed it. Rebound by Abney. And Abney swings into the forecourt area. Off to Colbert, tried to get a pass cross court to Lawson, but it's tipped away by a hustling Chris Barb. And Kevin, the South team needs to make a run here, down by 13.
Yeah, if they don't, they're going to be in trouble. But they're going to have to start taking it to the hole because they just aren't hitting those jumpers from the outside. And really not going after the ball rebounding-wise. Abney,
another three-pointer.
Boy, he's fun to watch. Sometimes you get so caught up in the game and coaching, and this is really fun for me to be able to sit back here tonight with you, Pat, and watch this.
Here's Johnson with it. Here's Human. Human had the ball taken away by Albrecht.
Here we go. We're going to throw one down.
Breakaway and slam by Nick Albrecht.
I say a 6 on that, Pat. A scale of 1 to 10.
In the corner, that's Barb with it. Against Smith was back in the game. Almost another steal. The North team is much the quicker of the two squads. There's a block by Smith. Brandis in the lane, threw it up over Hall, and Hall got a shot in the eye and also a foul for his trouble.
That Brandis kid, of course, is from Leeton and a product of David Sawyer's club, and he has several brothers that he left behind, and they're all good players and good people, and they should have a good program for years to come.
Free throw shooter.
47-29 game, and Tim Fleener now in the game for the South team out of Crest Ridge. And also back in there is Kevin Gerke. Brandis hits the first one. And he'll get one more. It's in the air. Good. Brandis with 4 points, 4.5 up to play in this first half.
Number 24.
Abney to Dittmer, open for a three, doesn't take it. Here's Hall to Hill, or rather Smith. He shoots a jumper, foul line, and hits. Smith is not bashful. He's got half a dozen. Eric Johnson to the forecourt. Off to Brandis, working on Hall. Shoots over him in the lane from 12, no good. Rebound tipped up by Fleener, that won't go. Albrecht carries the glass, but then lost it to Johnson, who was fouled from behind.
Boy, that was not a good pass, but there's a kid that knew it right away and went after the ball, and things worked out for him.
Aaron Copeland.
There comes the Cope.
The North team coming out, Nick Albrecht.
Albrecht will come out, who had that steal and that jam just moments ago, and Coach Rick Redding wants a timeout.
Much needed.
North team calls time.
3:58 remaining in the first half. Kevin, what's the South team got to do to get back into this thing?
Well, they're going to have to start playing some defense and hitting the boards. They're just not doing a very good job of boxing out, and the North's getting those shots every time, and unless they start limiting them to one shot, it's going to be a long night for them.
I was about to mention that one of the South teams,
6 feet tall out of Cole Camp. He's not in uniform, but on the bench here with the South squad. Kelly Stelling.
There's a kid, Kelly Stelling, that was in a car accident. He's from Colcamp. He's going to Southwest Missouri State University, and he's not playing because he was in an auto accident, but he's on the sideline and supporting the team in that way. So that's good to have him here tonight. You know, this facility, Pat, is just a beautiful facility. I'm a product of Missouri Valley College, and back in the years when they tried to recruit me or did recruit me from Orange, New Jersey, they said that this facility would be built by my sophomore year. Well, I never saw it, but it was a lot of fun having the opportunity to play in here a couple of years ago when we played Higginsville, and I had the opportunity to coach the North squad last year, and it's just a beautiful, beautiful facility.
Yeah, you know, Kevin, you talk about being a product of Missouri Valley College. There's a lot of people that are no longer with us. I had this vision for years and years, and one of them, of course, is Ken Gibler, who's passed away right before this facility was built, and it's aptly named the Gibler campus over here on the grounds where this Burns Athletic Complex is built.
There's a guy that loved coaching and lived it in his life, and I know he would be proud of this, and as Tom Pfeiffer is, and Tom just does a tremendous job with the with the Vikes, and been reading the paper, has a lot of good recruits coming next year.
Yeah, he certainly does. He's going to have some size. He's going to be a much bigger basketball team. Abney drives. There's that spin move in the lane. Joe puts it up, no good. Gets his own rebound, puts it off the glass, counts the bucket, and a foul is going to be called.
Good move, Joe. Joe did the spin move. There was a guy in his face, hit the boards on the rebound, got fouled, gets another. Good job, Joe.
Joe been learning, Coach. He looks thinner, for goodness sake.
No, he looks tired. He looks tired, Pat.
He looks thinner to me. Maybe it's a shirt.
Well, he could have, you know, he needed to lose a few pounds.
Abney has a dozen.
Of course, Joe is going to Central Methodist College in Fayette. They also run the Loyola Break, which we picked up a couple years ago, and Coach Sherman said it's the first time he recruited a player that actually came from the same system that he's going to be running, so he was real glad to get him.
I'm glad to see Joe continue his basketball career, and I'm sure we'll get a chance to see him a few times. Here's Smith, brother Colbert with the basket.
Good turnaround jumper. Uh-oh.
There's a three out of the corner by Campbell. That's like money in the bank.
That's right. You can't leave that kid alone.
I think we said Colbert a moment ago. That was Smith with the basket for the North squad. Colbert is now on the floor. Here's Dittmer off to Abney. Joe fakes the three. Now shoots over Johnson. It's short. Rebound by Johnson.
Look at that purple squad getting back.
Johnson 1-on-2. He's got nowhere to go. Throws it up, no good. Rebound by Campbell. He's a player. Doesn't go down, but he'll go to the line.
Substitution for the South.
Mike Campbell.
Johnson, number 51.
Kevin is not.
Coming out.
I would think out of all the players on this South team, he's one of the few that's going to sit there and let this game slip away as it is to this point without trying to do something about it.
There's another kid that's going to go NAIA to Culver Stockton, and definitely will have an opportunity to play in there. It's a good school with a good basketball tradition and in the heart of America. So you'll have an opportunity possibly seeing him play again here in Marshall.
Yeah, they play some good basketball up there.
We always had a tough time beating Culver. Back in the early 70s, and I know that they have a good basketball program even today.
Here's Campbell taking a charge at the other end of the floor. Dittmer picks it up. Aaron Copeland back in the ball game. A smaller squad on the floor now for Coach Rick Redding than we've seen this evening, but just too much quickness. And the three-point shooting has been much better. 6 3-pointers for the North as opposed to 2 for the South.
And
Campbell hit both of those, didn't he?
Well, Chris Barr hit one out of Greenwood.
Okay.
Has checked in for the South, number 11.
Gerke gets the ball into Arthur Lee.
Arthur Lee's been on the bench for a while, so he needs to get into the flow.
Here's Johnson down inside to Campbell. He tries to go over Smith.
Yeah, that's a foul. No doubt about it. That kid can jump, but when you stick that arm out and reach for that basketball, in most cases, they're going to call that foul.
And there's a thing there, Kevin, where you have to know where you're on the floor if you're a defensive player. He had Campbell in a good spot, I think, more or less behind the backboard, and if he makes it from there, that's great for him, but don't foul him.
That's right. We teach our kids put their hands straight up, and if he hits it, he earned it. We just want a hand in his face. There's only been one kid that I've had the opportunity of coaching that is truly a shot blocker, and that's Telly Harper.
Campbell hits 1 of 2 from the stripe. He's got a dozen points, but he's not getting much help. Down by 17, the South team is. Here's Dittmer. Dittmer out high off the Hall. Hall, the young man from Stet. Abney for a 3 off the pass. Count it.
Well,
Joe's got 15.
That's good to see him shooting off the pass like that.
Arthur Lee to the hole, had the ball knocked away, and Abney on the run. Nice pass to Smith. Look out. Goes down, tried to jam it, and missed. Rebound Hall, good.
There's that rebounding strength again by the North. They're just doing a great job of not watching their people go to the hole. They're all going after the ball.
We've got a whole lot of Coach Jim Dockey over there on the South team can do about it. Johnson down inside to Campbell. Lays it up and in.
Nicely underneath for the South team, number 23.
Well, you can see how hard that Campbell kid is working.
Here's Abney off the Dittmer. Dittmer is in Abney range, but he won't shoot it from there. Here's Hall. Out high against Arthur Lee. Hall around Arthur Lee. Splits two defenders. Puts it up and in.
Bobby Hall again scoring.
Good move. Had the opening and did a good job of going to the basket.
The young man from Stead has 4 points. Campbell, 3. It's short. Rebound. Gerke tapped it, but way short, and here's Abney with it.
Smith was in his face that time and did a good job of making Campbell adjust.
Abney, nice pass inside to Smith. Copeland to the floor, but he walked.
I don't know about that call. Come on, Kurt. We like our kids on the floor. Copeland's been there a lot.
Oh, yeah.
Well, we're not supposed to say anything about officials, are we?
Oh, it's all in fun now.
Okay.
Here's Gerke, young man out of Pilot Grove up to Arthur Lee to Gerke. Shoots a 3 out of the corner and swish.
Three-pointer for Kevin Gerke.
Gerke might be asked to do that a few more times, but this one's over. 6 seconds left to play and a half. Abney throws up a bomb, no good. Rebound, Dittmer, good.
Rebound shot.
That is the first half.
Joe knew how much time was left. He took a good shot. There's Dittmer. There's the type of kid, like I said before, the kid's always around the ball and has done a good job. He didn't have the greatest jump shot, but he makes a lot of things happen.
Dittmer scores the final 2 points of the half. The North team leads 64 to 43 after 1 half of play. We're going to turn things over and let the Pom-Pom girls entertain here for a few moments. We'll be back with the scoring totals right after this.
Most worthwhile cause. 30% to the line.
Let's run down the first half scoring. Mr. Hart.
Do it.
Okay, for the North squad, Joe Abney led the way with 15 points, 4 3-pointers for Joe. Brad Schreiman 1, Nick Albrecht with half a dozen. Darius Colbert has 13, young man from Keatsville. Duff Weber, 2 3-pointers, he's got 6. Bobby Hall with 4. Terry Smith, the young man from Lexington with 8.
June 25th.
Jay Berenson has 8. Aaron Copeland 1. Justin Dittmer 3. And Greg Lawson played, did not score in the first half. The North was 10 of 16 from the foul line. For the South team, Mike Campbell leads the way with 14, including a 3-pointer. Chris Barb with 5. Ryan Ficken with half a dozen. Kevin Gerke with 5. Troy Brandis 4. Tim Fleener, Chris Johnson, and Ryan Hulver all with 2. Joey Human played, did not score in the first half, and Kevin Arthur Lee had 3 points. And the North leads by 21.
Let's see if the South steps it up a little bit defensively and starts going to the basket, because they're just not hitting from the outside.
Ryan Hulver will bring the ball up from Concordia. Here's Barb, cross-court pass Ficken. Goes inside, had his shot partially blocked by Abney, but the loose pass is recovered by Brandis, who lays it up and in.
Basket by Troy Brandis.
Brandis and Campbell look like they're almost cut out of the same cloth. They're real hard players, Kevin. Here's Brandis with a steal.
He can put one down too, Pat.
And he lays it up and in.
Steal, breakaway, and basket.
Well, there's a quick 4 by the South. Both teams playing man-to-man.
And with these 10-minute quarters, you can make up points in a big hurry. Here's Weber. Nice move to the bucket. Puts it up in the lane and hits.
Boy, that was nice. He set him up good going to his right and then came back to his left all the way. No help.
Over to Barb. Around Colbert. Passes tipped. Out to Ficken for a 3. He missed it. Rebound underneath. Tipped around. Taken out of there is Abney. Abney to the forecourt. Abney, baseball pass. Nice play inside to Albrecht, who lays it up and in.
Well, that's one thing about Joe Abney. He really sees the floor well. I've always thought he was a point guard, and I thought he played maybe out of place last year, but it seemed to work real well, Pat. And you saw that North squad real unselfish.
Joey Human gets on the board. Human gets his first 2. Here's Weber over the timeline off to Lawson. Lawson to Abney. Abney with Ficken all over him. To Lawson out of the corner, missed a 3. Here's Holbert. South team has a chance to run. 2-on-2 to Ficken. Ficken is fouled by Abney. Abney thought he had all ball, but Kelly Coleman, the official down on the blocks down there, thought different.
Yeah, it was a foul. He hit him with his belly.
Joe Abney, number 10 of the North team.
Got that belly on him.
Yeah, that was a belly foul. Good foul, because now the kid has to earn 2.
South is Brian Ficken to shoot 2.
Ficken with half a dozen. Misses the first one.
That's the thing about basketball. You can't give up those easy shots. Even though Joe didn't like it, it was a good foul.
Second one good. It's an 18-point game. 8:13 left to play in this third quarter. Here's Abney with it. Abney against Ficken. Man-to-man defense by the South, down by 18. They don't have too many other choices. Here's Lawson. Off to Abney. Abney puts an arm into Ficken and a whistle. Ficken doesn't like the call. And Ficken is saying that Abney's pushing off with the arm. Well, Kevin, the defensive player just never gets that call. At least I don't see too many of it.
No, he's crying. He doesn't need to be. He needs to concentrate on playing.
Here's Abney on Ficken in the corner. Joe swings into the lane, double teamed. Here's Weber being knocked around at midcourt.
Give it up.
And a steal. DeHolver, lay it up, good.
Overload down court. For the basket, Ryan Holbert.
16-point game, Pat. It looks like the South's really going to try to put a run on.
There's Weber spinning at the three-point line to Abney. Abney with a runner in the lane, good.
Good shot, Joe. I'll tell you, that Weber kid from Lawson really has a lot of confidence out on the basketball court.
Going to the hole is Barb, laid up, good.
Nice drive to the basket, Chris Barr.
That was a good no call by Tim Clemens underneath the basket. It looked like the Weber kid came under him a little late.
Now, the way I look at it, Kev, I don't think the official can call a charge when a kid's playing defense right underneath the basket.
Good point, Pat.
Going to the hole, and a block and a foul called on, I'm not sure who it's on.
Well, we'll find out here as Kurt tells the official score.
Yeah, Ryan Ficken for Mount Rosser.
Troy Brandis, number 21.
He's involved.
Substitutions for the North team.
Got 3 players coming in from the North.
Smith, 14, Jay Berenson, and number 40, Brad Schreiman.
Brad Schreiman back in the ball game along with Smith and Berenson.
Wide open.
There is Berenson wide open on the inbounds pass. Good.
Boy, that's a great play for All-Star game. Coach Redding has really done a good job in preparing his kids for this game.
Berenson's got 10 points. Here's a try from Ficken, no good. Abney with the rebound. Joe looks up the floor and hits Schreiman. Schreiman 2-on-2, weaves his way to the hole, throws it up and in.
Brad Schreiman.
Now, the guys report in at 8 o'clock on Friday, and they have a practice Friday morning and then eat lunch at Missouri Valley and then practice again in the afternoon and in the evening, and are housed out at Marshall Inn and had a few practices today and had a banquet last night, and it's just a real nice thing to be involved in.
Human off to Barb on the miss. Barb off to Ficken, shoots over Abney and hits.
Leading baseline shot, Ryan Ficken.
Of course, the Knob Noster Panthers went to the sectional game and lost to Ruskin, and we later saw Ruskin in the quarterfinals in Municipal Auditorium. So Knob Noster had a real fine basketball team, and Ficken was a big reason why.
Brandis, number 21.
Brandis picked up that last foul, although he got poked in the eye for his trouble. Copeland back in the ball game. Lawson comes out. Bobby Hall from Stead is back in there. Ryan Holber comes out for the South team, and Campbell is back in. So Campbell was on the bench for a while. Here's a pass inside.
That play almost worked again.
Smith challenged by Brandis, fouled by Brandis.
I'm going to have to watch this film on Channel 10 and get that in our playbook.
Someone's getting picked off, I think, in the middle of the lane and opening that up, I would imagine.
What are you looking for, Pat?
Well, usually my marbles, but I'll relent this time. I'm looking for some information here.
Okay.
There it is. Talking about Ryan Ficken. Some of the academic honors, some of these kids, honor roll 4 years, National Honor Society, who's who among high school students, and president of the student body. And he's headed to Southwest Baptist University down in Bolivar. So,
well, that's good you brought that up, Pat, because that's the major reason why these kids are involved. School comes first, and they got to spend the time studying because they're not going to play basketball all their life, especially coming out of smaller towns. And it's good to see that these kids are focused and understand that, and work hard at trying to be good student athletes, and that's what's most important.
This young man here at the line, Terry Smith, was on the honor roll for his at Lexington. Kevin Gerke over at Pilot Grove, honor roll 4 years, National Honor Society 3 years. I wish I'd have been that smart.
Well, you never know, Pat. It may come to you someday.
It hasn't come by now, brother. It's not going to happen.
Well, you look pretty good coaching baseball this year. You want to talk baseball?
Oh, we could talk a little baseball after this.
All right.
Smith. Now he's going to lay it up.
He did the right thing.
Nice big layup by...
Yeah, Pat and I are in the Bambino League here in Marshall. Pat coaches KMMO, and I do the AMJO, and we go at each other on the baseball field, and it's been a lot of fun.
Here's Ficken going to the hole and laying up and in.
In fact, I think you beat us last time, didn't you, Pat?
Oh, well.
Well, I wasn't there.
Once in a while. Here's Hall with it. Yeah, you weren't there. That's why we won, I think.
Yeah.
Copeland.
We'll have a rematch, though.
Smith out the Hall looking for a three-pointer. Hall has the ball tipped away by Chris Barb.
I'll tell you what, we probably need substitute officials. These guys are huffing and puffing too. Of course, here we are in June, and like the players, the officials haven't been out calling, but a lot of these guys are busy trying to upgrade their officiating, not only in a situation like this, but in the Show Me games and in Coach Stewart's camp, and that's the way they move up, and that's the type of officials that we want coming to Marshall, guys that don't only do officiating as a hobby, but as a profession, and we're real fortunate to have a lot of fine officials come to Marshall.
Here's Campbell with a nice move around two players. Couldn't get it to go, but then Fleener cleans it up on the other side of the weak side, and he's got 4 points.
Boy, I like that fake by Campbell. He got those guys up in the air, and the ball just didn't roll in for him, but it was a real nice fake.
Boy, he's really a player. Look at him work on the defensive end. Here's Schreiman down low. There's Berenson, and he had to tie up with Arthur Lee. Good help out defense from the weak side.
The North's doing a good job of trying to get the ball in with this lead. They're trying to pound it in, and if I had a kid like that kid from Salisbury, I would pound it in also. There it is again.
Bounce pass, he's left wide open, missed it, gets his own rebound, put it up against Human and a whistle.
Good foul. Reach for the ball and put him on the line and make him earn two. He had that extra bounce on that rebound. He should have went straight up.
Fleener picks up the foul. Kevin, I think one of the things in this game is that the big men for the North team are outplaying the big men for the South.
Oh, yeah, by far. There isn't any comparison.
Berenson and Albrecht very, very active on the inside.
I haven't seen those two playing together. Have they played? Has he? He hasn't played them together, but that would be nice to see those two guys playing together because they both do a good job.
That may have been planned.
In fact, here he comes off the bench right now. We'll see who comes out.
Fleener has a shot blocked from behind by Berenson, but then he gets it back and lays it in.
Fleener with the rebound shot.
With the basketball, Weber off the... Inside, the ball has gone to Hall, and he had a shot blocked away. Here's Arthur Lee. The Barb off to Campbell.
Hey, here we go. With that shot right there, we've made it a 13-point game and a chance to cut it to 12.
Campbell was really nailed as he went to the hole. I think Copeland picks up the foul.
Number 30 of the North team.
And have a counter. There it is. Now they put it on the board. Campbell has the 2
Mike
points.
Campbell awarded the basket of the layup, and he'll have one additional shot coming.
Campbell now has 16 points. That's his first points of this half. 3:38 left to play in the third quarter. South team trying to come back from what was a 21-point deficit at halftime.
Cut it to 12 with 3:37 to go in the third. We got a lot of basketball to play yet, Pat.
Here's Weber on the floor, wing right side Hall. There's Hallbrecht, shoots over Human, no good. Better defense that time by Human, and back comes Campbell in a hurry. Campbell slipped and fell, and now Smith has it. 3-on-1.
He needed to give that ball up.
And he didn't do so, and he'll have to earn it now from the line. You're right, Coach, he had a 3-on-1 there, and he had a couple of trailers.
He had a couple guys on the left, and he had a man on him, and all it would have taken was a nice pass, but that's just, you know, you don't play with these guys except the first time they probably met was Friday, and I'm sure in a normal situation in Lexington, he would have gave that ball up.
Smith misses the first one. Missed them both. Dittmer in the game. Offensive rebound. He can't get it to go. And here's Human with the rebound.
There's Dittmer at 5'10" in there getting rebounds.
Here's Eric Johnson. Threw the ball right into the hands of Aaron Copeland for the North team. It's another turnover for the South. Here's Weber, and he got the ball on his hip and double dribbled it.
This North team has went a little dry. We haven't seen much of Abney here this second half either. Has he scored this half, Pat? I don't think he's shot.
Joe has one 2-point basket in this third quarter.
I think they're kind of sitting on their lead a little bit, and it hasn't worked.
Oh, there's a big 3-point basket by Arthur Lee.
We got a basketball game.
It's a 9-point game. South team has made up a dozen points since the break. Here's Copeland with it, off to Dittmer. Weber in the middle, Smith goes to the hole. Nice pass to Albrecht, lay it up and in.
Well, that was a nice play. Might have been an extra step, but
who's counting?
This is summertime.
Arthur Lee just did.
Ooh, way to go up and get that rebound.
Albrecht ripped that baby down.
He was up there.
Weber almost turned it over again. Here's Dittmer.
Uh-oh.
Smith, he lost the handle. Albrecht recovers, and a whistle and a foul against Human. Although, Kevin, I think that the North big men have outplayed the South. I think Human's kind of gotten over some little bit of, looking for the word, not being very aggressive in the first half. I think in the second half he's come out and played a little bit more aggressively.
Yeah, that Albrecht, he does a good job in there. He got up high on that rebound. Here we are late in the game, and he looks real confident when he gets the basketball, and that's good to have a player like that on your basketball team. Let's see how he shoots free throws.
1-and-1 opportunity.
Yes.
Albrecht is 3 of 4 from the line. He'll get the bonus. And it's suddenly a 12-point lead again for the North. Second one in the air, good again.
Nice touch.
The youngster has a dozen. And back comes the South team down by 13. Campbell with the pumpkin over the timeline. Top of the circle. Off to Arthur Lee. Wants to drive on Abney, was back in the game. To Eric Johnson for a 3, missed it.
Boy, he threw that one up.
And Smith with the weak side air ball rebound off to Abney. Abney against Campbell. A couple of all-staters going after each other there. Here's Weber. Weber to Dittmer, who pops open. Around Johnson. Throws it up in the lane, short. Rebound tapped out of there by Human. Abney saves it, but he stepped on the line. And Joe going after the ball in front of the scorer's table, and will be South basketball.
Substitutions for the North.
That was good hustle for a fat boy.
For the South,
and Human and Abney are playing on opposite sides tonight, but they won't be at Central Methodist College. That's where Joe Human will be playing his ball next year. Shot put up no good by Arthur Lee. And here's Schreiman. Schreiman on the move. He walked with it. Brad has not been able to get on track when he's been on the floor much tonight.
Yeah, he was trying just to go a little bit too fast there, and that's good to see those guys slapping 5 after it was all over with, because he knew he made a mistake, and that's what it takes. You're going to make mistakes.
Eric Johnson with the basketball over the timeline. Johnson with it. Off to Gerke. Shoots a three over Smith. Missed it this time. Rebound by Human. Johnson shoots another jumper. That doesn't go.
Whoa.
Third try off the lead. Count the bucket. Smith were going at it.
That was a good power shot there by Arthurly. He tried to shoot a couple threes, and he got inside on that one, and it worked out. He's going to have a chance for a three-point play and cut it to 10.
Arthurly has had his problems at the line. He's 1 of 4.
Let's talk a little bit about that Smith Cotton basketball team. Martin White, of course, took over that program 2 years ago. They came on the scene definitely last year with a real outstanding basketball team and have quite a few of those guys back and are going to be one of the best teams that we play next year on the schedule and probably one of the better teams in 4A basketball. So watch out for them.
Here's Schreiman, weaves his way over the timeline, goes all the way down the lane. Nobody picked him up. Brad lays it up and in.
He did a good job that time. He was going down the left side. He came back right and had a nice layup.
Here's Johnson in the corner. Off to Arthurly against Abney. Back out to Eric Johnson. We have an Eric Johnson and a Chris Johnson. Now for the South team in the ballgame. Here's Gerke out of Pilot Grove. Arthurly drives to the hole and then a reach-in foul on Dittmer. With 30 seconds left to play in the third quarter, regardless what happens the rest of the quarter, we're going to have a game here in the fourth period with the North team up by a dozen.
Number 10 of the North team commits a foul.
Oh, they're going to call a foul on Abney.
Well, he reached there, and officials did a good job of calling that.
Terry Smith, number 42.
Darius Colbert, who's been quiet in this third quarter, will come in the ball game for Smith. There's a lob inside for Human. He'll just go back out with it. Human, well, he'll shoot a three-pointer. That doesn't go. That's probably not the shot Coach Jim Dawkey wanted. And here is Colbert. Oh, he tried to force a pass inside, picked off by Human.
I think Coach Redding wanted him to hold for one.
Schreiman has it, but they're going to say he stepped on the out-of-bounds line in front of the South bench. 5 seconds left to play. Abney, I think, Coach thought he may have been undercut on that one rebound. Everybody's all right.
We're going to get a shot here.
Arthurly, a long three-pointer.
Boom! You know, I saw him shoot some threes this year, and thank goodness we did a good job on him in our game, but that was way out there. That cut it to 9.
9-point game.
10 more minutes.
Pat Duncan, Kevin Hart, bringing this Lions Club Area All-Star game, the boys this evening. North leads by 9. This series is tied at 2 games apiece. Previous 4 All-Star games having been played. North trying to break the tie, the South trying to come all the way back from a 21-point deficit at halftime. Here's Schreiman off the Dittmer. You hear Coach Rick Redding say, run the offense across the way. Abney goes baseline. Joe's in no man's land, but was able to throw it off the accommodating feet of Tim Fleener. And the ball goes out of bounds. North gets it back.
That was a good play. He got stuck, and he had to get rid of it, and he had the knowledge to go ahead and throw it off him.
Abney looks to get it in, does so to Dittmer. Dittmer, who I'm sure is happy to be receiving the pass from Joe Abney instead of trying to defend him. Joe goes to the hole, throw it up, no good. Rebound coming out of there is Campbell.
Uh-oh.
He's got a man ahead. That's Ficken. Ficken against Schreiman, put it up, missed it. Rebound by Campbell and a whistle.
Boy, look at that Campbell going after that basketball. There's a kid. Ficken had a layup on the right-hand side, and Campbell didn't take it for granted, went in there and got the rebound. And that, you know, that's probably the reason why that kid was first-team All-State. He's a player.
That's exactly right. You think in a game like this, that the guy you passed to is going to make the layup. He wasn't thinking that. He came flying in there to get that offensive rebound. It's a 7-point game.
Yeah, I tell you what, this South team deserves a lot of credit. They could have got blown out here tonight, but they've hung in there, and they've done a good job.
Coach Jim Dawkey and Tom Stokes over there doing a great job to get these kids pumped up in this second half.
And the South team is going after it. They feel that they're back in the game, and they're challenging the North. There's Weber.
No, rebound by Barb. Barb wants to run 2-on-4. Goes down the lane, laid up, missed it.
Push it down, Joe.
That was a big miss.
Boy, the South did a good job of getting back. Now we're going to set some offense.
Weber wants to pull it out. Here's Colbert, wants to spin on Arthur Lee. Those two have been going after each other. Down inside, and Colbert took Fleener to school.
Nice move. There's a lefty going left, and he did a fine job at it. That was a great first step.
The first step took him about 3 feet from the bucket.
Boy, it was
never had a chance.
It was explosive.
Darius Colbert, who's credited with the basket, has a free throw.
Of course, Colbert on the floor from Keatsville, and Russell Billington, the
Substitutions for the North.
head boys coach at Keatsville. He knows all about Darius Colbert. He certainly will be missed next year in that Tiger program. It's a 9-point game.
That's something about coaching, Pat. You know, you do the best you can, and you got a lot of fine athletes that you're associated with, and all of a sudden they're gone, and you're stuck there for another challenge. And you know, I lost 9 real good people that I'm going to miss, but I got some good kids back. And boy, there's a nice play right there.
That's a very unselfish play by Weber.
That's what basketball's about. Beautiful, beautiful fast break.
Here's Barb forcing one up in the paint as the North team has jacked the lead back up to 12, but we still got over 8 minutes left to play in this ball game. And Kevin, I don't see either one of these teams really getting all that tired. I thought they'd be a little more bushed than they are.
Well, you know, having the 12-player substitution, and you know, these kids are young. They got their legs under them. They, you know, they do a lot of things. You know, basketball is just one small piece of the pie for a lot of them, but yet they're active in a lot of different things, and they're athletes, and it's good to see them running up and down because this is a large basketball floor. Let's say a little bit something about Jack Mann here. Jack has volunteered his time tonight to come out here from Marshall Cable TV, and it's nice that the Marshall residents are going to have an opportunity to see in this game on Channel 10 a few times, and we really appreciate Jack and his support of basketball.
Here's Craig Lawson getting his first 2 points of the night. Here's Spicken off to Gerke. Gerke wants to go inside, but he's cut off by the bigger Berenson. Here's Arthur Lee to the hole, throws it up, no good. Rebound by Abney. Abney looks up the court and gives it up wing left to Lawson. Lawson cuts to the hole, pulls up from 8 off the glass, good.
Hey, the difference between this fourth quarter and the third quarter is the North isn't sitting on anything right now. They're starting to go to the basket like they did in the first half, and it's paying dividends. There's another rebound. Push it down because that's what's going.
Abney has gotten some rebounds here in the last few times down the floor. Here's Colbert. Plays it up and in again.
How do you say it? You need a timeout, baby. And there it is.
And a 7-point game is suddenly a 16-point lead for the North with 7:08 left to play. And Coach Jim Dawkey over at St. Paul takes the timeout. And what a season those kids had last year. They were bumped out of it early, though, as far as the state playoffs are concerned. But they had a great year last year, and Coach Jim Dawkey over there with his assistant Tom Stokes from Concordia. It was Concordia which knocked the Saints out of the running in the district, and a lot of people thought St. Paul was going to go quite a way and never got out of the district with their arch rival Concordia knocking him out.
Well, I think St. Paul's had some problems going into the game, but I never had an opportunity to see in either one of those basketball teams play. But I heard Coach on the radio in the post-game show, and what a class performance that guy had in the post-game interview. And it was good to hear nothing but positive things said and not pointing the finger at anything that went on in that game. And just wish Concordia luck. And I listened that night, and I had an opportunity of meeting him here, and he does a good job.
He's, like all these coaches, they're very pleased to be here. It's not an inconvenience at all. They all are very, very glad to be here, and actually very excited to get a chance to coach in this game.
Well, it's a privilege to get into a basketball situation where you have all these athletes from 11 different counties come together, and you get a chance to meet them and put them together for that few short practices. And anybody that loves basketball enjoys an opportunity like this, and these guys are no exception.
7 minutes left to play in the ball, and there's a lob, an alley-oop, and not a bad pass, but Human couldn't handle it and lost it out of bounds.
Honoring these all-stars.
Well, if the South has got one more run in them, they're going to have to use it here. They're down by 16, 7 minutes left. Weber with his hands on the basketball off to Copeland. Copeland around Eric Johnson, throws one up on the foul line and hits.
Good shot, Cope. 15-footer, and he banged it.
Copeland's got 3 points. Here's Campbell out of the corner, hits a jumper.
Boy, he earned that too, because Copeland was in his face.
Campbell's got 19 to lead the South, but they're down by 16 with 6.5 left. Weber off to Copeland. Copeland, Coach Rick Redding wants his club to run some clock here. 30-second clock. Here's Weber, takes it to the paint, throws it up, right hand off the glass, too hard, no good. Rebound, Chris Johnson. Chris Johnson had the ball taken away by Weber, but they're going to call a foul right in front of the scorer's table. And
boy, that Weber kid is not very big, but his heart and soul is out there on that basketball court, and he just, every step he takes is nothing but confidence.
And the blue lineup, number 32, Bobby Hall.
We've seen some great guard play in these 2 games. I was very impressed by Marty Duncan of Tina Avalon earlier in the girls' game, a young lady I'd never seen play but heard a lot about in her 4-year career. And now a young player like Weber that we talked about looking over the program earlier that we don't ever get a chance to see. And having seen him tonight, we can pretty much see why he deserves the honors he has. 1-and-1 free throw is missed. Look at this. South can't buy one down low, and Copeland comes down with the rebound. Long lead pass, Weber to an open.
Boom! What a play. That was pretty. Beautiful pass by Weber.
I think Weber's got 4 assists in a row. Here's Johnson cutting to the bucket. Put up, no good. Rebound by Albrecht. Lead pass for Smith against Campbell.
Give it up.
Bounce pass to Weber. Back to Albrecht, and he is fouled by Barb, and he'll go to the line to shoot 2.
Well, that was probably Weber should have taken that right-hand layup, but since we're in an all-star situation, that would have been a nice way to get 100 with a slam.
Albrecht has got 2 slams in the ball game, one on a steal and one on a beautiful pass from Duff Weber, the Duffer.
You mean this kid's going to go on to play football at Benedictine?
From what I know, yes, he may play 2 sports.
Well, if Benedictine's basketball coach was here tonight, he'd be at the kid's doorstep tomorrow, because he can play.
I would assume he will play basketball and football, because the NAIA, unlike your NCAA Division II schools, give you that, I think, have more of that opportunity.
Yeah, but it's real hard, Pat, because football goes on until, in a lot of cases, especially when I was here at Valley into December, because we were always in the playoffs, and those kids just get behind. Boom!
Oh, he took Mike Campbell and shoved him right down the hole. Holy smoke.
That was a good no call. That kid had it all the way.
That one got a rise out of this crowd here. Here's Albrecht with a block on Brandis, and now a whistle underneath.
You know, that says a lot for a basketball player when he's able to slam with people around him. And, you know, here's a quality player like Campbell that was right there, and he went up over him.
Well, I thought he was going to maybe give it up. He had a 3-on-1, but he had him measured, and he just... I
think he's going to get another one.
It's 102 to 80. We got 5 minutes left. I think this one's all over, but playground time now. Here's Copeland off the Hall. Smith into the paint. Fallaway jumper from 8. No good. Albrecht tips it up and in.
Yeah, he's on fire right now. They need to keep giving him the ball. Let him put on a show. That's what all-star games are about.
Albrecht's got 20 points in this ball game. 14 and a half.
Campbell's going to shoot it.
Campbell goes to the hole, lay it up. Offensive foul as Weber had position, and
there's an all-stater taking the charge when an all-stater going hard to the hole.
Well, the South made their run, Coach. They were within 7. They had the ball. As a matter of fact, they were at the foul line, but The North just came on after that, and led by Albrecht, they have put this game away.
You know, Pat, a lot of times you hear about this all-state thing, and a lot of people say it's politics, but in watching these guys out here tonight, the three that we have are all legitimate first-team all-staters. Of course,
I saw Joe Abney play all year, and if he wasn't all-state, then they ought to throw the award away. Here's a shot put up, no good by Hall, and taken out by Barb. Barb to Gerke in the lane, put it up, blocked.
Copeland!
Then Albrecht saves it to Weber. Weber bounce pass to Smith, lay it up, out the bucket.
All right.
On Johnson.
That's the way to run the break.
Albrecht saved it after the block by Copeland. Weber gave it up to Smith, who laid it up and in.
I got goosebumps, Pat. That's what basketball, I like it. Good basketball play.
Doesn't get any better than that. The offense started from the defense, and Copeland on the block, Albrecht on the save, and then the finish at the end by Smith. And then the three-point play to top it off. Smith's got 13 points in this game. Here's Barb out of Green Ridge off the Campbell. Bounce pass to Brandis. Shoots over Albrecht. That isn't easy to do, and he gets it to go down. Weber spins to Albrecht. Oh, he's really feeling it, Kevin. Puts it up and in.
Well, Weber knows who to get the ball to, and he did a nice spin and put it in. No one can jump with him. He's up over the rim every time he goes up.
Three-point try, partially blocked. And they're going to say Weber never did touch the shot by Barb. Well, Kevin, who knows? Maybe he is going to be playing basketball, Benedictine, after all.
Well, I'll tell you what. All they have to do, send him a tape, Jack. Send Benedictine a tape, and if they see this kid play, they're going to want him. But it's just a hard thing to do, is concentrate on both football and basketball in a college situation. You know, as far as high school coaches, we want our kids to participating in as many different activities as they can, because, you know, it just gets them out there and keeps them active instead of off the street. So, but in a college situation, those college coaches want them dedicated to their sport.
Yeah, you know, you hear about the NAIA, I should say, you know, having a little bit better opportunity to play two sports at a level of that nature, but you don't hear about a lot of kids who do it.
Yeah, I remember in my 4 years at Valley, I had one player that tried it. His name was Gary Johnson. He was from Moberly, and it just was a real hard transition, because he came into the season, you know, we start October 1st, and here he came in December. He was several months behind, and, you know, of course, going from football to basketball, it's such a hard transition anyhow. It takes a good month, so he wasn't really ready to play by January, and you're going down the stretch by then. But it can be done, but it takes a real fine athlete, and it's just a tough adjustment.
The Benedictine football program next year is going to be very, very good, and the basketball program, if Albrecht goes that way, is going to get better. So,
well, that's a Hart team, isn't it now? Benedictine and Hart.
Certainly is. They made some big strides last year. I know on the football field they did. They've got plenty of people coming back, including
I think this 109 points is a record. In the boys' game, first year was 91, second year 75, third year 90, 110 by the South in 1991. We may see that broke here tonight.
Oh, yeah. Unless there's a power outage or something like that, I think we're going to break that one. I think that goes to show, Kevin, how the game has changed in just a short time. I know the kids have been running the ball up and down the floor the last few years, but every year it seems to intensify even more, and that's the kind of game we have now. I mean, John Hayes and I were talking earlier in the girls' game about one of these days he thinks we're going to see a shot clock in high school basketball.
Wouldn't bother us. I don't think we would either. You know, of course, in watching us the last few years, Pat, we want to get that ball down in 4 seconds and shoot it. So I've heard it been talked about, and it wouldn't bother me either way.
There's a shot put up and in.
Good shot.
Ryan Hover, haven't heard from Mr. Hover in a while. He gets one to go down. Ryan's got 6 points in the game. It's 110 to 86. Brad Schreiman. Here's Hall in the paint, puts it up, no good. Rebound taken out of there by Fleener. Off to Ficken. Ficken in a hurry to the forecourt. Shoots a leaning three-pointer, it doesn't go. Rebound by Schreiman. Schreiman in a crowd, nice pass to Dittmer, who's going to be hammered by Fleener. Fleener missed the ball and hit Dittmer.
Dittmer's tough, he can take it. Look at that kid. He's just going to go to the line and hit two. He's a tough kid and always played with a lot of heart. Contribute to him and Bob Gibson in Higginsville.
Dittmer has 3 points on the evening, none in the second half. Now he has one.
There's the record, Pat, 111, 1993. Put it down in the history book of the Lions Club All-Star Games.
Well, the North squad had 64 points at the break, and you kind of figured, unless they went ice cold, 110 was going to be.
Well, that third quarter, it just seemed to look like they were kind of sitting on their lead and weren't being aggressive like they were in the first half. But they came out this fourth quarter and really took it to the South, down their throats.
Well, the South team, I think, may have prompted that a little bit, Coach. They really came out and woke the North team up a little bit in that third period.
Well, that Albrecht really put on a show here in this second half. I wanted Albrecht and Benziner to play together. I don't think I got my wish.
Here's a shot put up, no good, and Schreiman to Smith. Smith gives it up to Dittmer, lays it up and in.
There you go. Nice pass, Smith.
Couple of MRVC kids hooking up for a bucket there. Smith of Lexington and Dittmer of Higginsville.
Not a very smart foul. Did a little reach there. Terry's looked good. That MRVC is really
up-and-coming basketball league.
Hey, we got a Odessa Bulldog team that's going to be tough to beat this next year. These kids have been basically starters for 2 full seasons, and I remember when they first started against us in the district game, and they got out there and they played us man-to-man. I said, what are they doing? And they were freshmen, and it all worked out because these kids have gotten better and better, and we saw them up at CMSU team camp, and they're going to be a club to reckon with when it comes down to district time in March of 1994.
And I think Pete Rorvik, one of the real nice guys in this coaching fraternity in high school, he's got enough patience to raise those youngsters the last 2-3 years, and I think it's going to pay off for him, you're right.
Yeah, Pete does a good job. He played for Central Methodist, and him and I have gone against each other many times back in those years, and also on the coaching level, and he's a real competitor and does a real fine job.
Brad Schreiman will go to the line to shoot 2. Kevin Gerke picks up the foul. So it looks like it's going to be a North sweep this evening. The North girls won in the opener here, 81-66. And the North boys, after being challenged in the third quarter and in the early part of this fourth quarter, it was a 7-point game at one time, but Nick Albrecht and company took over and put this game away several minutes ago. Schreiman missed them both. Rebound underneath by Lawson, good.
He went up for that ball, too, here late in the game.
Here's Ryan Hover. Hover off the Brandis for a three-pointer. That won't go. Rebound fought for. Schreiman gets it. And before he falls out of bounds, gets rid of it to Hall. Cross-court pass for Smith. Had his shot blocked away by Brandis.
Smith wanted that ball. He's just smiling right now because he got blocked. Hey, Pat, a lot of these guys won't ever play organized basketball again. We talked about a lot of them going to different colleges, but some of them, this is their last game. What a good inbounds play. I got to get that one on paper.
I've been watching that, Coach, and Smith fakes giving a pick, and then he slides off to the weak side. And
all right, we're going to have to draw that out.
So the man who doesn't set the pick is the one who gets the ball, apparently. Here's Hover getting hammered.
Let the clock run. Come on, North. You got it in the bag. It's been a fun game, Pat. It really has. I think this is one of the most exciting games. I've seen several of them, and this has been a good one.
It's a 30-point game, but it really has been like a 10, 12, 15-point game most of the way. And the North team saw the writing on the wall a few minutes ago, and just.
As we mentioned, the South did not give up, and that's good, because you never know.
Holber makes them both. Ryan with 8 points. Of course, Tom Stokes, the assistant coach over there from Concordia, was his coach this season. Here's Dittmer going to the hole, up off the glass and in. Dittmer's got 9, and it's 120-89 with 25 seconds left. Chris Johnson, a three-pointer. In and out, no good. Rebound, Gerke. Shot blocked by Schreiman. Foul called against Schreiman.
Yeah, you got to call that foul.
Kevin Gerke will be going to the stripe.
Kevin Gerke in the line.
Not that our vote counts for anything, but who do you think will be the MVPs from both teams?
Okay, I'll. No, I'll go ahead.
You know, this job, man. This is something you have to do.
Okay, I saw that on my on this resume that you gave me. Okay, pick all stars. Okay, I'm going to go with Campbell from the South, and I'm going to go with Albrecht from the North.
Yeah.
You agree, Pat?
Looks pretty hands down.
Okay.
We had a tough time up here in that girls' game picking one.
Well, I think those two kids definitely. I mean, you know, it was nice to see all of these players compete, but I think those two stood out.
Yeah. Schreiman off the Dittmer to Schreiman. 3 seconds left. He'll take it. There's no doubt about that. He couldn't get it to go. 7/10. 7/10 of a second left to play in this boys game. 120-92.
Now in our gym, this game would have been over. We don't have those tenths of seconds. That's just the big time people that have those.
That's one of my pet peeves. We won't get into that now. When the clock reads 0, baby, it's over. Schreiman misses the first one. Brad's having a rough night at the line. 1 of 5.
Use your legs. Let's see. Yeah, there he goes. Boom.
You called it.
All right. It's easy to do up here. Real good basketball game.
121 points.
121-92.
Winning North team.
And the North team with a big win tonight. They now lead the series 3 games to 2. They led by 21 at the break. The South team got it down to 7. But the North team took over in the fourth quarter and won it going away 121-92. Both teams will be introduced once more and be given medallions and so forth, and we're going to have the scoring totals for you in just a few moments.
Voting on the most valuable players. As we did for the girls game, we'll do likewise for the boys.
Well, this boys all-star game, Lions Club game is over for 1993. 121-92. The North squad was a winner over the South. The North now leads the series 3 games to 2.
Each and every one.
Coach, our most valuable picks for both teams pretty much came out the way we thought they would.
Well, you know, those two players really showed a lot of things out on the court, and you know, I don't really like most valuable things, but you know, with the traditional Lions Club way, you know, and other people that believe in that, those kids definitely stood out. Of course, my heart was with Joe Abney, as you know, but I really felt that those two deserved it.
Mike Campbell from Montrose, the All-State player, at 19 points for the South. He gets the MVP selection. And for the North, Nick Albrecht with 22 points. He had a couple of thunderous slam dunks and really was the difference late in the third and early in the fourth quarter when the South got back in the game. The South was down by 21 at the break, got back within 7, had the ball, but then the momentum turned. Oftentimes, Kevin, well, you well know that when a team is down a bunch of points and they make a run, they seem to get out of gas, and once they get close, that pretty much does them in, and that's what happened to the North and South tonight.
Well, that North squad just kind of sat on that lead and really didn't make things happen in that third quarter, but came out in the fourth quarter and really took it to them. And they did mention that Albrecht kid going to Benedictine as a football and track scholarship, so that's a shame that kid isn't going to pursue his basketball career. But as you mentioned earlier, he's only going to be a freshman. He has lots of years to decide on that. And, of course, the two All-Staters are going to all Heart of America teams, so maybe we'll have an opportunity seeing those kids play again.
That's true. Campbell will be heading out to Culver Stockton, and Joe Adamy, as you mentioned, Coach, is headed on to Central Methodist over in Fayette. Let's check out the scoring quickly for the winning North team. Albrecht, we mentioned, at 22. Darius Colbert, 18. Joe Adamy, 17. Brad Schreiman had half a dozen. Greg Lawson, half a dozen. Duff Weber had 8. He must have had a dozen assists, though. The All-Stater from Lawson was magnificent. Bobby Hall with 4. Terry Smith from Lexington with 15. Jay Behringer had 12, or Berenson rather. 3 for Aaron Copeland, and Justin Dittmer with 9. The North was 19 of 27 from the stripe. The South team, Arthur Lee with 12. Chris Barb with 9. Mike Campbell, 19. Ryan Ficken had 11. Joey Heumann, Eric Johnson, Chris Johnson all had 2 points. Tim Fleener with half a dozen. Troy Brandis, 10. Ryan Holber with 8. And Kevin Gerke had 5 points in the ballgame. 17 of 24 was the South.
Great job, Pat. How you get all that down and watch this game and call the game the way you do?
You wouldn't believe it.
What's that? 9 guys in double figures. That says a lot, because a lot of all-star games sometimes are one way, where those players want to go out and just try to score for themselves. But we saw some good passing here tonight, and it was an enjoyable game to watch, and it was a lot of fun being up here with you, Pat, and seeing what it's like to be on the other side of the fence. And it's not an easy job, and you're writing this stuff down, you're calling the game, and watching the game, and you really know what's going on. So I really enjoyed calling with you tonight, and had an opportunity of saying some things about some other guys out there, or what they're doing out there, instead of sitting and watching.
Well, maybe I'll need you next time I ask for a raise.
All right. I don't know. I'll try.
Well, Coach, thanks for working with us, and good luck next season with your basketball program. Looking forward to another exciting year of up and down basketball from Marshall Islands.
Well, I appreciate that, Pat. Good working with you. Thanks to everybody here tonight.
North wins at 121-92. Want to thank Jack Mann, Jim Cox helping us out this evening, and hope you enjoy the game. Adios.